If you're a product manager, someone interested in getting to product management, or a leader who wants to be more product-led organization, then this is the book you should read first. It sets the foundational landscape of product management across all different organization sizes within the tech industry. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Teresa and I'm a product director based in Melbourne, Australia. And on this channel, we explore strategies and tools that inspire us to keep growing in our product career. Today, I'll be sharing the top 5 key takeaways from the book inspired by the one and only Marty Cagan. Before we start, a bit about Marty, not that he needs introduction. He did start his career as a software developer and moved into a senior VP of product and design at eBay. Throughout his career, he has performed and managed most of his roles of a modern software product organization, such as product management, software development, product marketing, user experience design, testing, engineer management, etc. He's very well known in the product management space and continuously share his knowledge in order to create successful product managers. So let's jump into the first key takeaway. Marty explains that the role of a product manager is demanding and requires a strong set of skills and strength. He defines the role of a product manager as responsible for elevating opportunities and determining what gets built and delivered to customers. He stresses that this job is super demanding, is not your typical 9-to-5 role. And to be successful, here are the skills that you must uplift. Number 1 is a deep knowledge of the customer. The product manager is required to be an expert in this area to understand the customer's issues, pains, desires, and how they think. Number 2 is deep knowledge of data. The PM is expected to be comfortable with data and analytics. You may have a data analyst to help you with this, but you do need to understand how this relates to your customer's behavior. Number 3 is deep knowledge of your business, how your business works, and the role that you play in your business as product. Marty does talk about that this area is probably the most difficult for many product managers because successful products are not only loved by a customer, but they also work for your business. So therefore, getting your business or your company's buy-in on the importance of product will be quite difficult and challenging. The next one is deep knowledge of your market and industry. This isn't just about your competitor, but also key trends in technology, customer behavior and expectation, following relevant industry analysis and understanding the role of social media for your market and customers. And lastly, the type of person that will thrive in this environment across 3 areas. 1 is smart. Isn't it just about IQ, but intellectually curious, quick learning, and apply new technologies to solve problems for customers, to reach new audiences or enable new business model. The second is being creative, thinking outside of the normal product box of features to solve business problems. And lastly, persistence, pushing companies way beyond their comfort zone with compelling evidence, constant communication, and building bridges across functions of the face of stubborn resistance. The second key takeaway is the foundational structure and how the product teams are formed and the supporting leadership structure that goes around it. Marty explains that a product team is not about reporting relationship. It has an intentional flat organization structure. The team needs to have a high skill of collaboration that is getting together as product, design, and engineering to solve the problem together as one team. The product team is responsible for all the work within their product scope. That is related to all the projects, features, bug fixes, performance work, optimization, and context changes, everything and anything for their product. It's important to mention that different organizations can slice their product in different ways. Example, you may have a team that is responsible for end-to-end of a product, and some teams are sliced into different areas of experience. And sometimes we are largely defined in teams based on architecture. This is a pretty common because architecture drives technology stack, which often requires different types of engineering expertise. Now, the product manager is not the boss of anyone on the product team. Each team member within the product team will report into a functional leader. So in terms of a product manager, you may report into a head of product who focuses on team development, product vision, execution, and product culture. The designer might report into the head of design who focuses on the team's development, design vision, execution, and the design culture. And for engineering, they might report to the head of technology that focuses on team development, strategic technology direction, execution, architectural capability to ensure that the technology delivered is functional, scalable, reliable, and secure. And lastly, ensuring that the senior engineer staff is participating actively and contributing throughout the product discovery. There are also supporting roles around the product team. This really depends on the size of the organization, if they can afford to have embedded supporting roles or just a service on the side. These could be research teams, data analysis, test automation engineers, or delivery managers as well. The next key takeaway is low-cost discovery before delivery. Now, there are two essential high-level activities in all the product teams. We need to discover the product to be built, and we need to deliver that product to market. We need to work parallel to both discovery and delivery of the product. The purpose of the product discovery is to quickly separate the good ideas from the bad, and output of product discovery is to validate the product backlog. Marty focuses on two things on product discovery. The first one is to leverage the low-cost investment to get validation before even building, such as prototyping and experimentation. Now in the book, he's got a few chapters that go through different methodologies of prototyping and experimentation, which I won't go into detail today, but definitely worth giving a read so you can expand on your toolkit. The second one is about spending time more on solutioning to the problem. Most important lesson in our industry is to fall in love with the problem and not the solution. Often our initial solutions doesn't solve the problem, well, at least not in a way that can be contributed largely to the success of the business. It takes trying out several different approaches to the solution before we find one that solves the underlying problem. The fourth key takeaway is producing alternative to product roadmaps. Now, the goal is over time, the organization moves its focus from specific features and its launching dates to more of a business result. However, we must remind ourselves that the product roadmap exists for two purposes. One is that management of company wants to make sure that the teams are working on the highest business value items first. And second, since they're running a business, there are cases where they need to make date-based commitments, and the roadmap is where they see and track those commitments. Therefore, to be accepted on an alternative approach to roadmaps, the two purposes must still be served. So in order to steer the organization away from those two things, the product team itself needs two things: the product vision and strategy. This describes the bigger picture of what the organization as a whole is trying to accomplish and what the plan is for achieving that vision. Each of the product teams may have its own areas of focus, but it's all supposed to come together to achieve the product vision. The second one the product team needs are the business objectives. This describes the specific prioritized business objective for each product team. The idea behind this is to tell the team what you need them to accomplish and how the results will be measured, and let the team figure out the best way to solve it. It's important for each and every product team to know how their work contributes to the larger picture and what the organization needs them to focus on right now. Therefore, to serve the purpose of number one, highest business value, it is the management's responsibility to provide each product team with specific business objectives they need to tackle. The difference is that they are now prioritizing business results rather than product ideas. To serve the second purpose, occasional need for committing to hard dates. We address this by having a concept of high integrity commitments. These are situations where you do need to commit to a date or a specific deliverable. Overall, this is about outcome rather than output. This will help you to create and motivate and empower teams where they are free to solve the problem the best way they see fit. The last key takeaway is cultivating the right product culture. Now, Marty has a long list of what good product team looks like versus bad team, but I'll just share a few that stood out to me. The first one is good team gets their inspiration and product ideas from their visions and objectives, from observing customer struggles, from analyzing the data customers generate from using their product, and from constantly seeking to apply new technologies to solve real problems. Bad team gathers requirements from sales and customers. Good team loves to have brainstorming discussions with smart thought leaders from across the company. The bad team gets offended when someone outside their team dares to suggest what they should work on. Good teams have product, design, and engineer sit side by side, and they embrace and give and take between the functionalities, the user experience, and enabling the technology. Now, the bad team sits in their respective silos and asks that others make requests for their service in the form of documentation and scheduling meetings. The good team are constantly trying out new ideas to innovate, but doing in so in ways that protect the revenue and protect the brand. Bad team are still waiting for permission to run a test. And lastly, the good teams celebrate what they have achieved, a significant impact to the business result. The bad team celebrates when they have finally released something. Overall, I highly recommend this book as it sets a clear foundation of how product management is integrated into the different types of organizations. Additionally, Martin takes into account the different size of organization throughout his book to ensure that we know the role of product in a startup, scale-up, and large organization. If you find this video helpful or inspiring, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you'd like to share some of your insights from this book, please share them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.